Hunter Biden's, let's say, unique attorneys, the ones that came out and want to sue the laptop owner, laptop repair person. Sorry for looking at you. Sue the laptop repair person for letting go of the information on Hunter Biden's laptop, while not fully realizing perhaps that no one ever admitted it was Hunter Biden's laptop. And Jonathan Turley was one of the people that pointed that out. Kind of an interesting thing. I'm sure the White House wasn't happy about that. And now Hunter's attorneys came out and said, you're violating the IRS agreement. When you become an IRS agent, you're not supposed to become somebody that talks about things publicly or even becomes a whistleblower. So it was a threat to the client. And that was made clear last night that that was one of the fears that the whistleblower had of getting in personal legal trouble, Steve.
So let's listen to Jonathan Turley right now talk about how serious this is.
It's extremely serious. There's obviously the allegation of perjury. It's also a crime to interfere with IRS investigations. So these things do bring you into the criminal code. It's also important, as I keep on saying, that there is the secondary question as well. Whether or not there's evidence of crime, there is ample evidence of corruption. That's what influence peddling is. There's ample evidence of millions of dollars going to the Biden family. Congress has an equal interest in that. In fact, Congress is the primary body to investigate that, since the Department of Justice investigates crimes. So there's a lot here that we have to unravel. What was ironic about the attack by Hunter Biden's counsel on this whistleblower is that Hunter Biden just recently called on the IRS to investigate his critics.
Yeah, exactly right. And so, you know, now that we know, Ainsley and Brian, that Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, it sounds like he is the unnamed senior political appointee who essentially has talked to people about not going forward with the Hunter Biden investigation. Because according to this whistleblower, he's got evidence that what our Attorney General said is not true. We had Mike Turner on this show yesterday, and he was talking about, you know what, that could be obstruction. Think about that. We don't know whether or not the Bidens broke any laws in amassing their family fortune. But think about this. This kind of has echoes of Watergate. Remember, it wasn't the crime, it was the cover-up. Wouldn't that just be crazy, Ainsley, if, as it turns out, the Bidens didn't break any rules, but somebody said something to the Attorney General to make him think that Hunter Biden should not be prosecuted, and they didn't go after him. So the question is, what did the Attorney General know? When did he know it? And if he got bad information, who gave the Attorney General of the United States information that, according to the whistleblower, is not true?
Yeah, I mean, the whistleblower is saying Merrick Garland didn't tell the truth when he talked to Congress in March, when he said the investigation is free from political interference. But we heard the soundbite with Garland saying that he pledged not to interfere. So how much did he know?
Yeah.
Did the information go all the way to the top? Did he know this information? We want to hear from the whistleblower because he says he has proof that Garland was lying to Congress. Yeah. Also breaking is the former acting CIA director, Mike Morell. He was in sworn private testimony. He told the House Judiciary Committee about the Hunter Biden story. The New York Post released that Hunter Biden story. Remember then a few days later, everyone's reporting that's Russian disinformation. How did they find that out? Why were they reporting that? Well, he says in front of the House Judiciary Committee that Anthony Blinken, who's now our Secretary of State, at the time he was working for the Biden campaign back in 2020. He said Blinken gets in touch with him and he says, I need you to help Biden by organizing 50 colleagues to sign a letter in October of 2020, falsely claiming that Hunter's laptop story was Russian disinformation. He said, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I organized the letter. He said, over the next 2 days, I gathered signatures from 51 former intel officers, including former CIA directors John Brennan and Leon Panetta. We organized this letter. We sent it to a specific reporter. Politico published the letter on October 19th. The headline was, Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinformation.
And guess what happened 2 days later? The debate. And that's why it was so important to get it out before the debate. And guess who looked in the camera and lied? The future president of the United States, when he said 51 intel agents says it's Russian disinformation, when we all know, and he knew, that was his son's laptop. You know that. Right. And he got it out ahead of time. And Mike Morell said, I wanted to make sure Joe Biden won the election.